Dear dearie, still a little bit pissed after last night. By that I mean angry, not the British pissed, which would be drunk. um, yeah, lots and lots of just. If you hear explosions or screaming or laughter, or all of the above, from the other room, my housemates are watching the Mythbuster Star Wars special. So that's what that is. Just last night was not good. It was very just after 4 attempts to record the just no done. Finished. Done. So I will wait until next week. I think. Yes, next week. To do the TMI Tuesday. Sorry, you guys are going to deal with it because I'm... And note to self, exactly, never, ever eat another chocolate Santa Claus in frustration. I was not feeling all that hot the rest of the thing. Now, after I posted the thing last night, I decided I was going to try to record the next, because I'm sure some of you may have noticed that today I posted the first updated installment, or the first installment of the updated WoW 2, which most of you who follow me are not newbies to playing MMOs or video games of any kind. So the likelihood that I know a couple of you have listened to the first one, or at least watched it. Sorry, strike that, reverse it. Watch the first one, or at least listen to it. The purpose of it was to teach people who have no idea how to play an MMO, that have never played WoW or anything else, how the basics of the game mechanics work, what the different elements of it are, so that they dive in and they're not overwhelmed with this stuff. So I had recorded the first part, the part that I posted last night. Well, technically this morning. Actually, it might have been this afternoon. No, it wasn't quite this afternoon, but it was close. It was close to about noon today, noon o'clock today. But I recorded that like Monday. And then, because it just, I'm still learning Adobe Premiere, so figuring out how to get everything looking right. And I discovered when I posted it that the top and bottom of it were cut off. I was like, yeah, if you click this button down here, it brings up more information on these different races and classes. And I was like, looking at the final video, and I'm like, you can't see the more info button. What the hell happened to it? It turns out that for whatever reason, I'm not sure what it is, I think Fraps is recording, regardless of what setting I have the game resolution at. I think it's recording at the desktop's resolution, which is 19 something by 12, I think, something. Or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. It's a sizable thing. Anyway, so it keeps, and then it's trying to scale it down to 1280 by 720. So it's it's cutting pieces of it off, and I'm like, no, stop it. So I think what I need to do, I was talking to my housemate about this morning. I think what I need to do is set the video game not only to 1280 by 720, but also set it to full screen instead of windowed. I think that might be the thing that I have to do. We'll see. Because then I think it's gonna, I think it'll work that way. We'll find out. If not, I don't know what, I'm gonna have to set my monitors, or at least this one, where I'm playing it, to 1280 by 720 while I'm recording, just so that it'll natively be at that resolution. Whatever. Damn it. It's always got to be difficult. And who knows? Maybe it'll be a smaller file as well. I actually sent a message to Gopher, basically saying, how big, when you finish your stuff, how big are the files that you're normally uploading to YouTube? And he's like, for an hour-long file, it's like 10 gigs. And I'm like, well, I guess I shouldn't, be complaining too much about a, 20-minute video being 9 or 3 gigs. Because that's just about the same thing, because it would be 3 times this. Yeah, it would. So apparently I'm doing that right. I've got a lot of quotes in today's episodes. That, or I'm a Tyrannosaurus. So tonight I'm going to record the other the part 2 or 3. I got about 2 hours of sleep because basically I stayed awake because my housemate asked me to take his car over to a friend's house who does most of our mechanical work to figure out what's wrong with it, because the check engine light had come on, and our friend Palmer has a reader, so he could check the code and see what it was. And then he was like, yeah, probably just need to swap out the spark plugs and stuff. It was my intention to get like 2 or 3 hours sleep before going over there. Well, that really didn't quite happen. And then I woke up before my alarm went off in a panic, thinking that I had slept through it and it was now 5 or something. It turns out it was like 10:30. So, oh, damn it. So I had to stay awake long enough to see him off and make sure that he was not taking his car, or at least taking his keys, because I was going to, need those if I was going to be driving his car across town. So once he's out the door, I'm finishing up all the last bits of editing on the Wild Thing and discovering it's still not coming out the way I want it. Damn it. And so finally I decided, okay, hell with it, I'm going to go to sleep. I just set it to encode and I went to bed. Only to wake up and find that it's still wrong. Anyway, so I wake up after about 2 hours worth of sleep, and then I go over there. Now, again, it was my plan to get over there and say, okay, here's the car. Excuse me, I'm going to go lay down on your couch and take a nap, because I am completely knackered. I am done. And we got to chat. I hadn't even hit a punchline yet. That must have been the part where they either slammed the 2 big wood things on either side of that truck or cut open the tauntaun. One of the 2. Anyway, oh boy. I cannot go in there and watch this right now, because there are a lot of stormtroopers in that video, in that episode of Mythbusters, and that's just a little bit too much of a turn on for me. Oh my god. It's just, never mind. That's bordering on TMI Tuesday stuff again. So, moving on. Back to the other original sort of thread. We wound up, just talking back and forth about stuff. Laughing, and he's got this lemon tree in his front yard that has a graft on it to a different kind of lemon. It's called like a Buddah hand. Look this thing up. It is like lemon Cthulhu, or Cthulhu lemon, as the case may be. It is this horrible. Just just go look them up. They're freaky looking. It's a Buddah hand. Just I have to see if I can find a seed in one and get it to. I know that his is grafted, but I gotta find out if I can find a way to grow this thing, because it is weird looking, and I need one. I don't know why. I just need one. But there's a chance that I may be moving into his house, in a little, like a month or 2. So hey, I would have ready access to it at that point. Granted, there's only 2 Buddah hands there's only 2 fruits on that part of the tree, so I'd better not mess up whatever I'm gonna do with the first one, because there's only one other. Anyway, so we go over to the we figure out what he needs to do, because it's a misfire on the 3rd cylinder. It's just a 4-cylinder, Mitsubishi Mirage that my housemate has had for like 800 years, and so we go over to the auto parts store, and he buys some spark plugs and whatnot, because he figures that, looking at the wires and whatnot, they're probably, not in the best of shape. So we go over there, we get the things, we come back. He's got to find his tools because whoever used them last didn't put them back where they belong. And he finally finds one of his spark plug pullers because he's got like 80 or something. Well, he's probably got like 4. But anyway, he pulls the first spark plug out, and when he pulled the thing, there was like this. I was like, what the hell was that? And it's just the entire socket that the spark plug is in is just dripping with oil. And I'm like, that seems wrong. And he's like, yeah, that's not supposed to be like that. I'm like, I would imagine not. I mean, I think there's supposed to be fuel vapor around that part of a spark plug, not oil, like a half a cup of oil. So 2 of the cylinders were kind of, gloopy like that. The other 2 were pretty much, or almost, one was bone dry, the other one was almost bone dry. But so one of the other guys that is staying there temporarily, he was like, what you need to do is you take this cloth and you lay it across the top. Now that you've got all the spark plugs out, just go ahead and turn the engine over and it'll just blow all that crap out of the engine and up into the cloth and it'll be fine. And I'm like, you sure about that? He's like, yes, I've done this many times. I'm like, God, there are times where it's really, I mean, when it's somebody I don't know, it's a little more difficult to trust these crazy mechanical processes. Like, I was like, wait a minute, you can't actually do that, can you? And then he's like, because if you don't, you're gonna blah blah blah, and hydrolock. I'm like, what do I? So he had to explain to me what hydrolocking was, which he kind of explained it, I guess, a little bit. Anyway, this is why I say that I am mechanically reclined. I just lay back and let somebody else do the work. Sort of like my sex life. Sorry. Oh, I'm never getting a boyfriend now. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go because apparently we're being buzzed by the Air Force again. And sounds like it's definitely a cargo plane. It's not a C-5. It doesn't have that whiny jet thing. The thing, it's a plane. It's an Air Force plane flying over. Anyway, suffice to say, C-130. That was the word I was looking for. That's probably what it is. Those fly in and out of Ames Air Force Base all the time. And now you know pretty much where I am. You can find the corridor, the glide path for Ames Air Force Base, and my house is somewhere in there. For now. We'll move the house eventually. No, I will move. Like I said, probably within the next, 2 months or so. Anyway, blah, blah. I'm going to go. I will let you guys go, and I will talk to you guys. I'm not doing chicken tomorrow. I know this because I have to go to San Francisco Airport to pick up a friend of ours that's flying back in from Ohio. He's been stranded there because of all the winter tornado. What is it? The polar vortex. The fact that the Arctic just decided to move into the Great Lakes territory. Anyway, I will let you guys go. I will talk to you tomorrow, without chicken in me, most likely, unless I stop by Wingstop or something. Anyway, and I'm gonna go and try to record tonight's part, whatever, 2, I think, of that thing. WoW 2, yes, WoW 2. Or maybe I'll just get fed up with it and record some. I had to record something for the ladies of the round table. I promised them I would record a contest video explanation thing for them, so I need to do that too. Anyway, I will talk to you folks. This is like the 4th time I've said this now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow, and until then, be careless.